Creating passive income takes work, but once you implement those processes, it's one of the most fruitful income sources that you'll ever have. And it's also very rewarding. Today, I want to share my 11 most favorite passive income sources that you can start today. Okay, the first idea is pretty well a no-brainer, especially if you know that I'm a financial planner and I've been working with clients for over 15 years now. But the first passive income source that you can derive is from investing. Now, I know many of you watching this might think, well, Jeff, I don't have a lot of money to get started. I get it. I was there too. But let me tell you, it doesn't take a lot of money to get started. Whether it be 50 bucks a month, $100 a month, anything that you can start investing, you can start making gains and start making interest off your investment. So whether if you're making capital gains off of your mutual funds, your ETFs, or your stocks, or if you have dividends that pay out on a consistent basis, these are all sources of passive income that you can get. If you're not sure where to get started investing, there are a ton of online providers nowadays. There are Robo Advisors such as Betterment, Wealthfront, Acorns, Robinhood, Ally Invest, E-Trade. If you know nothing about investing and you want somebody to pick those investments for you, that's why I have to recommend Betterment. Betterment doesn't have any money to start, and they will choose an ETF model for you. So if you're putting any money in, they're going to choose those investments, and then you'll sit back and start making those capital gains in dividends. Otherwise, passive income. Now, another form of option that I love when it comes to investing is peer-to-peer lending. I started doing peer-to-peer lending over 6 years ago, and it has been one of my most favorite investment classes to put your money into. Now, peer-to-peer lending is just like as if you're acting as the bank. So instead of somebody going to the bank and getting a loan, you are giving them a microloan. So you become the financial institution. And since these are microloans, you're only giving up about $100 per loan, sometimes less. And I don't know if you've ever taken out a personal loan from a bank, but you know how much interest they charge. So imagine now you're sitting on the side of the bank and you're collecting that interest. The top two peer-to-peer lenders to check out are Lending Club and Prosper. I have accounts with them both, and I really don't have a preference either which one. I'll tell you, I've been sitting back and earning those interest checks since I've started, and I love it. My second passive income idea is taking advantage of deal sites and or survey sites. So sites like Swagbucks, Inbox Dollars, or My Surveys. Signing up for these sites allow you to do your normal shopping that you do online and make a little bit extra money on the side. Or if you're sitting on your couch watching Netflix, your favorite TV show, or some sports game, and if you have your laptop handy, you can fill out surveys as you're wasting time, killing time, and make really good money. All right, my third passive income idea, and this one's a little bit outside of the box, but hear me out. Taking advantage of cashback reward points. Now I know, I'm sure you're thinking, Jeff, how is that really passive income? But check this out. Before I started using credit cards to pay all of our bills, we used to use debit cards all the time. Because I always subscribed to the idea of like, you shouldn't have credit cards because credit cards are evil. They're not that evil. But when I started talking to others that were truly taking advantage of all the different reward points that you have to offer, I realized that we were missing out on a ton of free cash. So we started using reward points specifically for cashback, airline miles, or hotels, anything like that that we knew that we'd be using on a frequent basis. So now everything that we buy, whether it's our cell phone bill, our satellite bill, Netflix, groceries, gasoline, we run all of our expenses through our credit cards and we get back tons of reward points. And with these reward points, we've cashed in on airline miles, hotels, and a variety of other things. A couple years ago, we took our entire family to Jamaica and didn't have to spend a single dime other than some snacks in the airport. So using your credit cards to take advantage of these reward points is so passive because you don't have to do anything. You're doing something that you're already going to do to begin with. You just sit back and enjoy the cash. Cha-ching! All right, on to passive income idea number 4. And this is a fun one. It doesn't really apply to me. Well, it kind of does. Let me explain. So one of my good friends is a photographer. And when he started taking pictures for me and my family and for my business, he asked, like, hey, I will take your pictures and I won't charge you, but I want to be able to use you for my iStock photography account. At the time, I didn't know really what iStock was or what stock photography was, but I thought, you know what, if I'm getting free pictures, sign me up. So he would upload my pictures to iStock, and businesses from all over the world were using my picture on their websites, brochures, and all their marketing materials. I've had so many people contact me because they saw my picture on some brochure or a website and asked, like, Jeff, is that you? It's like, yeah, that's me. Now, I don't get any royalties for that because all I got was free pictures. But my buddy, who's a photographer, is still making royalties off pictures that he took several years ago. So if you have a knack with a camera and love to take pictures of people, things, whatever, consider using iStock or any stock photography service. All right, number 5 is for all my artists out there. And this is something that's not me because I'm definitely musically challenged. So there's this cool service called Patreon. And it's for any artist that has a community, a growing community, and you want to get paid for your work. And you have a community of people that love your art, whether that be your drawings, your music, whatever that art may be. And each time that you release a new item, you can get paid a fee for that. And you get to determine what that fee is. So let me give you a few examples of some friends of mine that have really taken advantage of Patreon. A good friend of mine, Evan Burse, also known as the Cartoon Block, is a very popular artist and has a thriving YouTube channel. And he loves showing people how to sketch superheroes. So with Patreon, anytime that he creates a new image, a new sketch, his community will pay him a fee every time that he releases a new image. Talk about getting paid for what you love to do. Another good friend of mine, Chris Greenwood, a musician and in the band Manifest, gets paid by his community every time he releases a new music video. See, these are things that these artists were doing anyway, but now instead of just releasing something in hopes that somebody will discover it or that you hope that you might get paid for your work, with your community that is looking forward to the next piece of art that you're going to release, you're going to get paid and they're excited to pay you. Check out patreon.com for other ideas, especially if you're an artist that wants to get paid for your work. All right, number 6, and this one takes a little bit of time, but once you get it out there, you can really sit back and start earning that passive income. So what am I talking about? This time I'm talking about writing a book. Shameless book plug. So I had both the wonderful and stressful experience of writing a book, Soldier Finance, back in 2013. But here's the cool thing. The book has been out for almost 4 years, and guess what? I'm still getting paid on sales. I can log into Amazon and see how many sales of my book are occurring each and every week. But maybe you're not ready to do a physical book. You can also sell an ebook. There are tons of authors that release books all the time on Amazon. Writing and publishing books in the Amazon Kindle program is so much easier than it ever was. So if this is something that you want to do, think about it very hard. Another blogger that I know in the personal finance space named Mike Piper, blogger at obliviousinvestor.com, is making over 6 figures a year from his ebooks that he sells. And guess what? He doesn't have a ton of ebooks, but he has enough. And the ones that he does sell yields him over 6 figures every single year. As you can see, writing a book, whether it be a physical book like Soldier Finance or an ebook, can be very lucrative. You just have to get the book done and get it out there. All right, number 7, we're about to get physical, we're about to get physical.
I wanna get physical. Let's get into physical.
Okay, so maybe not that kind of physical, but we're talking about physical products. So this could be a variety of things. This could be t-shirts, mugs, blankets. It's amazing what you can create and sell online, especially with the Amazon FBA program. But maybe you don't want to go that route and you actually do have a physical product that you want to sell. One of my most favorite success stories is Steve Chu from the blog mywifequitherjob.com. So with Steve's case, his wife is getting ready to quit her job, a 6-figure salary living in Northern California, and he wanted to find a way that he could replace that so she could still spend the time with their kids, but also not lose out on that income. So what do? They created a digital online store selling physical products. In this case, it was handkerchiefs. You can check out his site at bumblebeelenders.com and see everything that they sell. Now their store has evolved a lot from the handkerchief, so they offer a lot of different things. But here's the cool thing about that story. Within the first year of launching their online store and selling these physical products, they replaced his wife's income over $100,000. Did you hear that? $100,000 after their first year of opening their doors. That's amazing. And the best part, it is passive income. All right, on to number 8. Let me tell you, number 8 was one that didn't work out quite well for me, but I know it's worked out for a ton of other people. So where's this one? Real estate. Now there are many ways that you can get involved in real estate. You can flip houses, you can buy them and sell them wholesale, or you can become a landlord and have tons of rental properties. And that's the path that I started. But when I started down that path, I realized I had no idea what I was doing. Now, thankfully, I didn't lose my butt on that investment, but it did allow me to explore other passive income ideas that I'm currently implementing. But let me tell you, I have a local friend here who is in his early 30s and is making over $250,000 a year from his real estate properties. He has a lot that he does flip, but he has a good chunk of his real estate portfolio that is completely passive. I will tell you, if you want to start getting involved in real estate, make sure that you have a good mentor, because you can lose a lot of money very quickly if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're not completely comfortable investing into physical real estate, there are other options. One option are real estate investment trusts, which you can buy through ETFs. Other options include sites like Fundrise.com. So with Fundrise, they will take your money and you'll put that in a pool with other real estate investors, and then somebody's in charge of choosing those physical locations for you. So that way, you're not in charge of picking those locations or having to collect rent and making sure that they're taking care of the upkeep on those buildings. All you do is sit back and collect the interest and dividends. Either which way that you look to explore into real estate is going to yield you some sort of passive income. Passive income idea number 9, take a 17. So if you're comfortable putting yourself on the world, getting in front of a camera, kind of like I'm doing right now, you can publish content to YouTube and sit back and make money. So how exactly are you making money on YouTube? The most easiest way is the ads that you see. You know, those annoying skip here ads, the first 5 seconds of every YouTube video that you watch? Yeah, those ads. Anyway, YouTube publishers get paid anytime that you watch any of their videos. So YouTube's always looking for content creators that are willing to put in the time and effort to create good video content. One of my favorite local stories here is Emily from Beauty Broadcast. When she started her YouTube channel showing her community how to apply makeup, she started making a little bit of money with the ads from her videos. The next thing you knew, those ads kept increasing as her viewers gained and her subscribers gained. Fast forward to 3 or 4 years later, she was able to quit her day job because she was making more money than her day job with her YouTube videos. Now she makes almost 6 figures every year just by putting on makeup every single day. It's pretty sweet. I like it. I don't really wear makeup, but you know, whatever, it works. So whether you want to create makeup videos, prank videos, or crazy workout videos, if you're willing to put in the work and upload those to YouTube, you can get paid. All right, number 10, and number 10 is definitely one of my favorite because it's near and dear to me, but it is blogging. So I started my blog back in July of 2008, goodfinancialsense.com. Holla! And I'm still amazed at not only the amount of money I've been able to make from my blog, but just all the connections I've made with so many amazing people over the years. Now my blog brings in over 7 figures a year. What? And most of it is passive. Yes, like a landlord, it does take some upkeep and there are things we have to do, but I put in very little work for the base that I've built up over the years. You can check out other bloggers like Pat Flynn from smartpassiveincome.com, or food bloggers Lindsay and Bjork Ostrom from pinchofyum.com, and even my wife, Mandy from houseofroseblog.com. All these bloggers are making really good money, and most of them are from blog posts that they wrote over 3 years ago. It's amazing, and it is almost completely passive. If you're interested in making your first $1,000 from blogging, be sure to check out my free email challenge, the Make 1K Challenge. You can check out more details at make1kchallenge.com. In this challenge, I show you how to start your first blog, publish your first blog post, and give you a behind-the-scenes peek of how I made my first $1,000. Yes, it can be done, so go check it out at make1kchallenge.com. All right, here is the last one. And I don't know if this is my favorite, but it definitely is one that I'm pretty excited about. So what is it? What I'm talking about here is creating your own online course. Now, this is something that I fought forever. I've always wanted to create a course, but I kept struggling with, what do I want to create? What's the idea? Who are the people that I want to serve? And I kept coming up with idea after idea after idea, but unfortunately, I never actually launched any of those ideas. And let me tell you, to make passive income, you don't make money off ideas, you make money off implementing those ideas. Finally, about 2 years ago, I released my first course, the Online Advisor Growth Formula. In this course, I'm showing financial advisors how to use online marketing to grow their businesses. I launched that course last year, and I've created the course, I've recorded all the videos, and now all I do is market, which most of it is automated, using Facebook ads and email marketing. Last year, we made over $100,000 off that course, all because I took an idea and actually implemented it. This year, we're on track to beat that by at least 50%, if not double it. Now remember, I've already created the course. This is not something new that I have to redo or reshoot. All the information is there. Now it's just a matter of getting that course in front of the right people that are wanting to buy it. Out of all the ideas I shared with you, I love the creating the online course idea the most because the margins are ridiculous. If you're selling a course for $1,000, your cost in that course may only be $100, $200. But as you go along and make more sales, your margin decreases, which means your profits increase. So you start making more money and more money and more money. And guess what? It's completely passive. Now, as you can see, there are a ton of passive income ideas you can start. I've only shared 11 with you here today. On my blog, goodfinancialsense.com, I share 25 passive income ideas that you can start, in addition to the 11 I shared here today. Now, we're constantly adding that blog post, so if that number is bigger by the time you actually watch this, just know that we must have found another great passive income idea that we've added to that post. All right, now I want to hear from you. What passive income idea have you implemented? How much are you making? How long did it take until you started earning passive income? I want you to share with the GFC community so others can benefit and start making some real passive income. Let's go make some money. Jeff Rose from goodfinancialsense.com. Take care. All right, on to passive income. So I had the wonderful and, what are we doing? Borrowing services. Starting over, that doesn't make sense what I just said.